Welcome back to the 90 Degrees podcast. I'm Dill.
And I'm Habib. Today we'll be talking about various self-defense styles that we are very passionate about and proud to be an active part of. We want to discuss how effective they can be in building self-confidence, promoting great health and mental well-being, sharing our opinions and experience on the styles that we feel are most useful in real-life situations, and how they have helped us develop as individuals.
To help with today's discussion, we've invited a close friend of ours to share their insight and experiences. Please welcome Dan Khan. Thank you for joining us. Raz, Dan, what would you like us to call you? We know you as Raz.
Call me Raz. Call me Raz. Let's go with Raz.
How you doing, Raz?
Tell me a little bit about yourself, Raz, and what you do and what you know about your journey.
So martial arts wise, started training when I was 24, 25. So I started quite late. I started with Shaolin, Kung Fu, did kickboxing. You introduced me, Dill, remember? To the club. And then did some boxing as well. I've been doing about 15, 16 years, martial arts. So I still do some coaching on the side. But yeah, I'm self-training at the moment. I'm not joining any clubs or anything. But yeah, I used to do a lot of different places.
I know Habib, you do as well, don't you?
Yeah, I dabble.
Do you want to elaborate a little bit?
So what it is when I was about 14, I started boxing. My brother got me into boxing, so I went to Repton Boxing Club. Went there for a couple of years, and then it kind of fizzled out for maybe a year or two. Just towards the end of university, I started to get into jiu-jitsu. Right, so I was doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and I really got hooked on that, and I did that. That's been ongoing. That was that, and probably about 5-6 years ago, I started to do Muay Thai and added wrestling into the mix.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so what qualifications and experiences do you have in your preferred training martial arts?
It's a funny thing, innit? Because when I was doing martial arts, I didn't go for belts or anything. I just wanted to compete, I wanted to fight. And as I started coaching, my trainers started encouraging me, you should get some belts, for yourself. So eventually I went through the kickboxing. That's what I was doing at the time. So I ended up getting a black belt eventually, and then did some courses with boxing, some coaching courses for boxing. To be honest, my experience as well, speaks for itself.
What was did you do a Ricky Hatton courses?
Yeah, I did some Ricky handlebars, some deep pulls. That was more just to have a little bit more extra from the coaching side and stuff.
So is that something like that you have to do in order to do your coaching with the?
Nah, you don't have to do that. It's it's an addition. Just
additional like guidance or something.
Yeah, a little bit more qualification, like a little bit more ideas about different styles of teaching and coaching and stuff. Yeah, Ricky Hatton was pretty good, quite intense. So take away a few things from then, add it onto your PTs. So yeah, that's how I did.
So would you advise somebody to take that course if they're thinking about going into coaching or PT? Is that recommended?
Yeah, definitely. Because it teaches you how to hold pads. When people train, they like boxing, they just pick up some pads. They think it's easier. I just got to hold it. But there's an art to holding pads. You can't just go out there and start doing it. Yeah,
I've done some pad work with you. I was terrible.
I know, Dill.
But once you learn, it's really fun. When I get on the pads,
it's a good skill to have.
So what about yourself? Have there been any qualifications or, experience you have?
So I've got a broad range of experience, but because I'm kind of like a backpacker martial artist, I've never wanted to be famous. Yeah, I'm literally, yeah. No, because that's literally, I've never really stayed to one club. I'm always kind of fixing and moving, and like fame, because I never wanted fame, or I've never really gone to compete like that. I do compete here and there. I think I've not really excelled in every single one except for like jiu-jitsu. Right now I'm a blue belt. Been a blue belt for a little while, but again I'm not sure what level I am right now because I don't go to grading, and you got to go to grading and get graded to move up. But I handle high level blue belts and some purple belts, so I'm around there. But you can't say it until you actually get it, if you get what I mean. And with Muay Thai, again, there's no grading system. It's like experience and just getting in there. But I've been doing that for a while again. So I think they're my main two things that I'm most experienced in. And I think my style is mixing things together. So I take bits of the boxing that I've learned over the time, the Muay Thai, the Jiu-Jitsu, and I'm always constantly thinking about building it together, and then I try to do a bit of MMA in between, so it's actually useful in a real life situation.
Alright, okay, we'll get into that a little later in the question. We'll touch on that.
Yeah.
But what encouraged you into boxing or mixed martial arts or whatever that you're training into? But what encouraged you to do this?
Yeah, so I always loved martial arts. So when I was young, I wanted to do martial arts when I was little. But I was always an ill kid, man. So I had asthma, I had appendix, tonsils. My parents were like, hell no, you ain't doing none of this. Because I was an ill kid, they were like, you ain't doing asthma, forget it. So when you're young, you ain't got money to go to clubs and to join up, even behind your mom and dad's back. So as time went on, I think when I was about 24, my older brother he started to do Kung Fu stuff, Shaolin Kung Fu for about a year or two. And then I didn't really think nothing of it until one day he's like, yeah, I'm going to a fight, a tournament. Come and watch me. So I was like, oh, okay, let's go and have a look. And then that was it, man. As soon as I saw him at it, he's 4.5 years older. 4.5 years older. So when I saw him, I thought, man, I'm younger than this, my older brother, and I'm more athletic than him. And my younger brother was in it as well, and I was like, we just turned and looked at each other and we saw how he was doing. It's like we knew what we were going to say to each other. Straight away, I was like, man, we need to drink this. And then my brother's trainer was there as well, so he found out, oh, these are your two brothers. So obviously he was so humble, man. He's such a nice guy. And I was like, oh, do you know what? This is like a calling. I just got, I'll just do it. I always wanted to.
Hassan Shafiq?
That's it, Hassan Shafiq. And that was it, man. I went to the first class with my younger brother, joined. And that was it, man. And after that, so you end up loving it. You start enjoying it, start meeting different people. You start building a little community almost, and it's like everybody's just enjoying doing training together. It was hard, but it was good.
That was your entry point then?
That was my entry. Once I was in, that was it. There was no turning back.
Alright, what about yourself, Habib? What encouraged your martial arts training?
Mine's a little bit more of a sad story. So, some of the best things come from those. But, like, when I was in secondary school, I got bullied bad. I got bullied for 3 years, from year 7 to 9, right? And I remember when I'd go to the changing rooms, like, I'd get kicked, punched, but rushed by 7, 8 people. And this used to happen to me for 3 years. Like, from year 7 to 9, I knew. And the thing is, what it was with me is I was a happy, naive child where, you work on kindness and you hope that people are kind, right? So I didn't have that kind of bone in my body where I wanted to fight back. I didn't see a reason why should I do that, right? And there was also another thing, is a fear factor that was in me when I was growing up. And I remember my brother kept saying, yeah, you're stronger than all of them. Because I told him at some point, right? And he goes, you're stronger than them. I don't get why you don't do anything. And I go, I don't want to. Why should I? I don't want to hit people or hurt people. But he goes, look, if they're going to hurt you, you have to hurt back. And he was trying to explain the self-defense kind of part of it. So he started to teach me boxing and take me boxing to try and boost my confidence and everything.
And you started going reptile?
Yeah, that's when I started going reptile and everything. Because I think he realised that he knew I was strong. Because he was trying to explain to me, but if you can take a beating from 7 to 10 people, and you're taking it all the time, and you're not doing anything back, but you're not coming home bruised or bloody, right? Then you can give back, isn't it? But I don't think I was getting it. But then after a while, I went boxing, and like, so that was my main reason. And then I went boxing, and I realized that like things just started to change after that. And again, that whole journey that was the domino effect. Since then, like, I've been doing my martial arts, whatever it is, but it's about making sure that no one can do anything to me at any point, or oppress me, or that I can fight for justice as well at the same time.
Okay, so well, one of the other questions was, how did martial arts change your life, and what are the main purposes of learning martial arts or boxing or whatever? But you've obviously, for yourself, was it's more, you were asthmatic, you were thinking, you saw this, and you realize that you're fit, you're fitter than your brother, and you wanted to do this, and this it was just like a hook that pulled you in.
Yeah.
And obviously now it's helped with your health, it's helped with your asthma. Yeah, so it's done fantastic for yourself, and yours mainly because of health and self-defense. And yours, Habib, was more because you were getting bullied, and you learned self-defense and everything, and mixed martial arts, jiu-jitsu and boxing, and it's helped you as well, and built your confidence. So that's one of the main things that a lot of people join, I think, or learn some form of self-defense, is just to build that self-confidence. Or they're being bullied. Yeah. But a lot of people, in the long run, I think they keep training is because for health, and if it's fantastic for your health.
Do you know what it is? Because what it is, I don't get bullied anymore. I don't get problems like that, because those are secondary school problems mainly, if you think about it. Right?
We're all adults. I'd die if we were getting bullied now.
Yeah. There's a big problem. But the reason, like, I continue is the science behind martial arts, just all of them. Like, there's something to gain, there's something to take and put in your kind of arsenal. Like, and I find that beautiful. The health aspects as well, but it's complicated, but at the same time it's simple, and you can learn it, and I like things that have a structure. And if you learn that structure, you can be successful in it.
Yeah, it grows you confidence.
Yeah.
It's like, I was asthmatic real bad. And I ain't gonna lie, the first 6 months, torture, man, because I was struggling, but you overcome it, just keep pushing. And after that, man, I didn't need my pump hardly ever. I was just training hard, I was getting fitter, my lungs were getting stronger, didn't need my pump anymore. It was great.
Yeah, you were really bad. I remember.
Yeah,
you were terrible.
I was, man. I needed my pump every day. And
yeah.
After like 6 months, I even went competing for my first fight within like 4 months. And I ain't gonna lie, in the fight I was gassed, my chest was squeezed tight, I needed my pump. Even then, on one of the rounds where I was sitting out, getting a rest round, before the next round, I was like, my trainer was sneaking in the pump real quick, and I was like, holding it in, but just thought, I need to push through this, man, I need to get out of this, and still went back out there. And then after 6 months, suddenly I was like, right, I don't need it, I feel good, and that was it, just keep pushing and get stronger. So it does wonders, man. Training in martial arts does wonders.
What are some of the reasons why people train in different martial arts, Raz?
Various reasons. Look, what happened to Hubs? Bullying. Me, it was more like passion for it, fitness, getting healthy and strong, self-defense, you go confidence from it. Like I definitely did. Confidence was a big one. I was a shy kid when I was younger. You know me, I was like, couldn't stand up in front of a class and say one sentence on a page without having a lump in my throat. And I was just like, shut down. And then as I trained, did coaching, start running classes for my coaches and teachers, 30, 35 people at a time. And, I was open in front of everyone, instructing them, telling them what to do, stopping them, going through processes and techniques. I never thought when I was young I could do that. If I could go back and say to my younger self, this is you in the future. You're going to be able to, you're going to be doing like classes, 30, 35 people at a time, confidently speaking to them. I'll be like, man, you're crazy. No way I ain't going to do it. So yeah, it changes, man. It makes you grow. You get a lot of confidence.
So what about yourself, Habib? Yeah? What are some of the reasons why, what motivates people to do martial arts? In your sense, obviously, Wild just touched on everything, but what would motivate? What do you think motivates people?
Well, there's a number of factors, right? it's one of those things that taps into your physical, mental, and emotional well-being, isn't it? Right? When you actually exert yourself and you put yourself through an activity that's difficult, and then you go and overcome it, whatever level or range it may be in terms of difficulty, there's a dopamine release at the end, a reward system where you actually feel happy and you're satisfied, right? So different people have different reasons. So for some people like me, it was overcoming that aspect of fear and not being afraid and actually standing up for myself. And when I did that, that was my thing. And then thereon, it developed into, wanting to feel strong and wanting to be empowered. So there's all the reasons. Other people have anxiety, and being able to consistently train and exercise will help in that and helps reduce anxiety. Other people need to release stress. A lot of people and a lot of successful people in the world, they wake up early in the morning, they have consistent routines where they get up and they do exercise in the morning before they start their actual jobs, which promotes brain activity and it helps you get going and starts your day in a good way. So there's various factors and various reasons. But all in all, they benefit people and they help you become strong, healthy human beings with a good mindset and a healthy mindset.
What are some of the reasons why people train in different martial arts? Like, obviously, Raz has gone through a journey, you've gone through a journey, I myself, I did karate, then I came on to boxing, I did a bit of judo, and then I did kickboxing, me and Raz. Yeah? Well, I started with Ray, and then I think, was it me and you, Raz, or was it Ray?
Me and
Ray, and then Raz came along. And then, then Ray left and we were just training in kickboxing. Why, the question is, what are some of the reasons why people train in different martial arts? Sort of like, what have you, you've gone through, boxing, kickboxing, muay thai. Have you done judo?
Yeah.
You've done a bit of judo as well.
I've done more judo than...
Why didn't you just stick to one discipline instead of, doing so many?
So for me, what it is it was always about finding the most useful thing. So if I found, with boxing, it was the first martial art that I got exposed to, right? And I found learning how to punch, learning how to dodge, duck, weave, learning angles was so useful, and footwork and balance. So while I was learning that was good. And then suddenly my brother comes home and he tells me to take him down because we used to wrestle and I'm bigger than him in size and weight, so I'd always win. And he's smiling at me and there was something off. And what happened is I thought, you're going to lose, right? And I go to grab him and when he does something, it just drops me. And obviously, I'm that type of person, I get excited when there's something better than what I'm doing, right? Or something more useful. And I go, what have you been doing? And he goes, he's been doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So then straight away, light bulb, that's the next thing I'm going to do. Because my boxing went out the window. I couldn't do anything, there was no base. So I started doing that. And then what happened is, I've got a friend and he's been doing Muay Thai for a decent amount of time. And he comes to me and goes, you still need to learn a bit more, add Muay Thai. And I go to him, what's the point? I didn't understand much about it. And he did one combo on me. And I knew that I would have been knocked out. You know what it was? Where you know that I didn't see it coming. And the one that I knew that would have finished me was there was an elbow right next to my face. Yeah. And I was like, all right, cool. So I decided that I'm going to do that as well. So I started to jump onto that. And then afterwards I realized that actually I fight in a certain way, my brain works in a certain way. And I'm smart, I hope. Well, I'm intelligent enough to a certain degree. My life's shown it. I'm going to take all of these pieces and I'm going to piece it together the way I like fighting and the way my brain and neurons connect. And that's what I've started to do. That's why I'm always dabbling into stuff. So I take from judo, I take the takedowns. Jiu-jitsu is my ground game. Muay Thai is my stand-up. But then Muay Thai punches are not as great, so I take my boxing and I piece it together and make a collage.
Or is that the same for you?
You know, I've kind of touched on most of it, man, because when you first start with something, like, say, boxing, and you're like, yeah, you learn boxing, how to strike, punch, and then you come across someone like a Muay Thai fighter, you know, he hit you up in the knees and elbows, and you ain't got a clue how to defend against stuff like that, and you're like, I need to learn the game, I need to learn this, I need to learn that. It becomes like a development process, you know. You start, before you know, you got a bug to learn as much as you can. You know, take a bit of everything, like upset, take a piece of this, take a piece of that, put it together. So you have a little broad range of knowledge on martial arts overall, not just in one field. But you know, you get people that just stick to one thing, and that's it. But you know, most of the time, a lot of people like to, especially nowadays with MMA, mixed martial arts, they got all sorts of backgrounds. And then, you know, they're the best fighters in the world, of everything. So, yeah, it's more like development for yourself. You start learning about yourself. I need to learn this to become more powerful, more better, you know, better striker. So I'm going to take on boxing. I need to do some groundwork, learn jiu-jitsu. So, yeah, man, it's all part of the process. It just happens. You don't even plan it. Just come across these moments and you go, oh, I'm going to learn this next. Or I'm going to try and learn this.
No, I totally agree. Like I said, you know, when I did karate, I didn't really know how to strike. So I learned how to strike with and stand and stance through boxing. And then after that, it was, you know, I did, I think, 2 months of judo, and then I quit that. And after that, it was a long break till I started kickboxing, and that's when I already knew how to kick. But you start learning how to do better kicks. And you're like, okay, so you become a rounded, you know, you become, your skills become a little bit more rounded. But obviously, you guys are taking it a little more step further. You're doing it as a PT. You know, you train people and everything, guys. And you obviously train people in your little gym in the back of your house as well.
Yeah.
That's really good. You know, what you guys have achieved, like Raz obviously 10 years older than you, so what you guys have both achieved.
Thanks for it, Dill. Thanks for it.
Oh yeah.
You've actually worked out and you've actually looked after yourself. You've overcome your health issue. That, you know, a lot of people actually just sit down and say, oh, you know what, I can't do this, I've got asthma, I can't do this, I've got breathing issues, or this, that, the other, hard too.
Full of excuses.
And you've actually gone from strength to strength to strength. You've strengthened your body, you've strengthened your mind and your lungs, and you've actually overcome these adversities to actually look at you, man. You and me are the same age. I look old, man, and you know, you still look like you're in your.
You've still got the baby face.
I was about to say that, you know, I was about to say that.
That's the only thing that's going for me at the moment, just the baby face.
Silky smooth.
But Habs, you're like 10 years, almost 10 years younger than us yet. And, you know, from here to the next 10 years, you know, because of the training that you've done and the things that you've put your body through, and you're not going to stop, obviously, now, but you're going to be very healthy when you reach out. You'll be healthier than me, that's for sure. You'll be healthier than me. And there's a lot of people that are 40 and I just look at them and I think, wow, yeah, at 40 you've let yourself go a lot. And then I see you at 42 Raz, and I'm like, my man's just smashing it at the moment. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the key, innit? Don't give up. Keep those times where I got lazy, I didn't want to, you know, get older, you're like, oh man, life is getting a bit on. I just don't feel like training today. I'll do it tomorrow. I train the day after. That's, you know, you got to overcome that. You just got to like switch on again and be like, nah, I'm going to get back on it. Life's about being uncomfortable, I learned. You know that. When you're too comfortable, you won't do anything. As soon as you're comfortable, that's it. You're not gonna progress. It's about being uncomfortable. and just like go for it.
So, how do you think the martial arts improves the social skills if it does?
Social skills. Well, if you think about it, in a scenario, if you're someone who's introverted, right, and you don't like talking to people, you don't like putting yourself in situations that are uncomfortable, when you join a martial arts club, whether you're introvert or extrovert, you're put out there. You have to actually engage in a physical activity with another human being, right? And you're actually fighting. You start off with sparring, etc., but then you end up going into actual sparring, or rolling if you're in jiu-jitsu. So having to have that close contact with people you don't know at first, and then building bonds and actually overcoming that thing helps you build your social skills all around. And on top of that, if you think about it, if sometimes you're afraid to say things, or people are afraid to say things because they're worried about consequences or someone getting angry, if you know how to handle yourself, you're more equipped to be able to talk the truth and stand up for right things. So socially, you're going to be more sound, in theory, hopefully.
Yeah, no. Do you know what? I agree with something that Raj said earlier about confidence. You know what? Training actually and boxing and doing all that actually helped. Even I was a shy kid, Raj. But you know, getting up in front of classes and doing what do you call this? What were we doing? Like speeches and stuff.
Presentations,
and you'd be like with a laugh. Like,
that's it.
You got to see it.
Yeah, and do you know what?
Shaking it.
Yeah, like it's come a long way. It actually helps with your confidence, boosts your confidence, and so you know you get motivation. Like what you can't touch me. What those attitudes? Yeah. So like when we went to Neil's wedding, yeah, it started off nervous, and then it was like
Smooth.
I went straight through the whole thing, smooth.
Yeah.
But that was in front of quite a few people, about 100 people, was it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you look back at yourself when you were little, you will never think you could do that.
No, exactly. And you've just come such a long way. All of us, I think, have come. I mean, you teach children day in and day out, 30 children per classroom. Did you think that you'd be in that position to be talking like that, or did you, Raz, think that you'd be talking, teaching classes of 30, 35 people, training
me.
So you just don't think about it.
Never thought about it, But when you're in your element, you don't even think about that. What people think about. When you're young, you always think what people think about me. You're a bit conscious about that, self-conscious. But martial arts, you just fall in love with it. You don't think about what people think of you. You just enjoy it, you're in your element.
And the thing about martial arts, right? What I've noticed is there's something like, no matter what you do in life, right? I go around, if I got a difficult meeting at work, or if there's something going on, like I always try to sit there. It builds your confidence, because I sit there and think, I fight animals. Like literally, like you go around and you're fighting people who fight, like people who have been fighting for years. If you can do that, you can do anything. It gives you that boost. Like, why am I going to go into a meeting afraid or worried or this or that? It just reduces all of that unnecessary anxiety, or even, that, what's it called, when you talk to yourself, those negative thoughts and feelings. It helps you to sort of, like, what I'm thinking. Exactly what Ross said.
Stronger.
Yeah.
Makes you stronger, as a person.
Yeah.
Mentally, you're more prepared for things.
I've never changed it though, Ross. Never. The fact that I've got this like different type of thinking because I train. Everyone knows exactly what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. So this is more of a part of two-part question. Obviously, I'll ask Raz first. What is the most important part and aspect of martial arts, and what is the preferred style of encouragement? Say you come across somebody who's, say introverted or shy or is being bullied, yeah, like Habib was, or shy like you were, yeah. What is your preferred style of encouragement, and what is the most important part of martial arts?
There's a lot of things in martial arts, just not one thing. There's loads of aspects of martial arts. But one that one of the things I say is like staying humble and disciplined. Because if you're not humble, you're gonna have a rude awakening in martial arts. Because some people I've had in the past where you get people turn up to martial arts clubs because they've done something before, and they just walk in with their attitude. They're kind of bullish, and I've seen people get dealt with, by serious fighters. The show of right, this is how you're gonna behave, this is how you're gonna get treated, and then these people get humbled. So just come in humble to start with, be respectful. I do it one-to-ones, so now I always get people like that. They're very scared to, open up and train hard, or they're just not confident in throwing a certain punch, certain kick. What I tend to do is focus on the positives first. So they might say like they're not good at a left hook, and they're very conscious of this, and they really put themselves down. I forget that left. I make them forget the left hook because they might be good at a right cross. And I just focus on that cross, and I emphasize that this is like a signature punch. Let's make it better. So I distract them from what they're not good at, and I focus on the positive, and that gives them a little bit more boost and confidence. Like, okay, I can actually at least do something. And then once they get into that sort of zone, then I encourage them. Right, let's work the left hook now. Let's get that a little better, like your right cross, so we can marry them up. Don't worry if you don't get it right first time. I encourage them that way. So focus on positives first, and then slowly build them up on the weaknesses. Because some people they're very they criticize themselves so much, just put themselves off. So you got to sort of adjust to different people.
Alright, what about yourself, Habib? What is the most important part of martial arts to you, and what is the preferred? When you do your one-to-ones, in your gym, what is the preferred style of encouragement?
So right now, my preferred style of martial art is jiu-jitsu. Right, I really like the science behind it. It's a chess game, and you require a lot of intelligence. And if you have enough forward-thinking gameplay, you're always like a step ahead, and you can manipulate your opponent to do something that gets you into a favourable position, or ultimately winning a match. So, like for example, in terms of encouragement, like I like the fact that jiu-jitsu is step by step. You can break down a movement. For example, a triangle choke, right? There's stages to it. So grab the lapel, do this, do that, etc. So in teaching, we've got chunking, right? For someone to absorb something, you chunk it down into sizable steps and digestible steps, right? So with jiu-jitsu, you can do that. So whatever level they're at, it's something that's easily like you can easily step it up or bring it down to whoever's level. And I usually encourage people by working on the small steps. And once they get the small steps, it all plays together. Because once you teach, like for example, once you know the guard, right? Once you know how to mount and how to control the mount, once you know how to pass the guard, certain things like that. Once we perfect those, I give a vision of them all tying together and then being able to actually fight on the ground and around. And they get to see mini goals as I go along. But again, it's the same mindset. I'm not touching on what Raz says again to double say it, but it's exactly how Raz says it, but the curriculum, which is quite nice in jiu-jitsu, and that's why I prefer it.
Oh, is there no curriculum in what you do with them, Raz?
No, there's curriculum as well. Obviously, if you go to a club, they'll follow curriculum.
Do they follow curriculum? Because this is a good thing, because I don't know about this, right? In terms of that, because whenever I've gone to clubs, they've never given me anything like with jiu-jitsu. you know roughly kind of all the moves and what it takes to kind of get to this level and that level, right? Give or take with experience and being able to do things. In Muay Thai, and this is why I don't know kickboxing, Muay Thai, they don't give you anything like that. You have combos, and then other than that, it's fight experience.
I forgot to answer one of the questions. my preferred style.
Yeah.
You touched on it now. It's probably Muay Thai because elbows, like in general, in real life situation, as well, Muay Thai for me, I feel is just like preferred style. That's gonna help you because Muay Thai just makes you solid, man. It's so tough to do Muay Thai. I don't know if guys ever done Muay Thai classes, but it's different. It just toughens you up so much, and the elbow strikes, the knee strikes. If you use that in a real life situation, you had to, trouble. That's, I prefer that over, say, like wrestling or being good at wrestling and groundwork, because if you've got a group of people, you might have to wrestle one person. What do you do with the others? They're going to rush you. If you were in that kind of bad situation, but with one knee strike,
You finish the person.
it's over, man. You hit them right, it's over.
Yeah.
It's just, they're the hardest part of your body, knee strikes, elbow strikes. So for me, that I would say my preferred method. Not only just for like self-defense, but like training as well. Just de-stressing you, man, because Muay Thai is like power. It's just putting your will on all your shots. It's just like taking over your guy, your opponent. You're gonna show him I'm stronger than you. I'm better technically than you. Everything. So it's like an overpowering combat. So for me, that's the reason I say Muay Thai. But I like what Hub said about all the technicalities with the groundwork and stuff. But for me, I'm more of a striker. So that's me. That's my opinion.
I agree with Ross. If it's a self-defense, like street fight, right? There's no way I'm doing jiu-jitsu. No way.
Yes.
There's no way.
I think that's something that you both have touched on. It's like because you guys are rounded, you guys have done training in different disciplines.
Yeah.
It helps. So if it's a one-on-one situation, take the guy down to the ground.
Yeah, play cat and mouse, jiu-jitsu.
But if it's more than one person, there's no chance, no way in a real life situation jiu-jitsu works.
If it's more than one person, most of the time you want to hit and run anyway.
Yeah.
Hit, get the hell out of there. Always.
Get the hell out of there.
But yeah.
Exactly. In a way, I would actually agree with what you said, Raz, is because knowing the ground game is fantastic. If you're, like I said, in a one-on-one situation, after doing kickboxing with Raz, striking, and both of you guys have done boxing. Knowing how to strike, is much better in a multiple assailant situation. And if you show just one person how your strike game is, the other person's going to get deterred automatically. And what better way to do it than through bloody Muay Thai? Strike one guy once with an elbow on good placed knee, the other person's going to think twice about even coming forward.
That's it.
The only thing is,
feature, man.
I think,
yeah. Twice.
But I think the reason why I brought in jiu-jitsu as my preferred is, see, in a street fight style, Muay Thai. It's the most violent, most forward. And in Muay Thai, you don't stand back. It's forward fighting. Raz?
Yeah.
It's literally, I'm coming for you. Yeah.
So smash the heart.
Yeah, you're always used to being smashed and smashing and going for it and taking kick and punching, giving one back. They kick, you block, straight one back.
Technical side of it.
Yeah. But it's in a technical way. You're basically always fighting in that high intense level. So in a street fight, you're used to being smashed, you're used to getting hit, you're used to blocking a leg. So you'd be more, it'll be more suitable for that. However, imagine as an ultimate fights, like in sports, right? As an actual martial art, and if it's a one-on-one with no one around, it's not street fight, right?
Oh, jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I think jiu-jitsu should win because it's so technical.
Have you not seen how UFC started?
Yeah.
It's made a wrestling,
It was all there was a boxer against a karate guy, there was a judo guy against a taekwondo, and MMA versus this, that, there. One massive fat dude, a Hawaiian dude, just came on to fight with one, and there's another a black dude with one glove. And I was thinking, what the hell's going on here? This is the beginnings of UFC, and the guy that took it was what's his name? Royce? Is it Royce Gracie?
Gracie, yeah.
One of the greatest.
Gracie.
Yeah. They absolutely dominated with jiu-jitsu. Absolutely, because it's a one-on-one match. And
Yeah, one-on-one, you know,
One-on-one.
jiu-jitsu's crafty, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't know ground
You know,
rules, you're done.
And not only that,
on that,
Look at Habib, he's okay striker, but you get on the ground with him.
yeah,
you can literally, the person who don't know what they're doing, you can immobilize them, fully immobilize them. And you can take your time. If it's a one-on-one, you can take your
I watched
time.
some Russian one. I watched the Russian one, and you know these Russians, they do some crazy MMA stuff, yeah? Where there's two people against one, yeah? Oh my God. One guy against two people. And that one guy was almost semi-professional, and these two people were amateurs. Bro, that one guy semi-professional got hired up. You know, he must have been blue belt or black belt or whatever, yeah? But you need to watch some of these 5-on-1 or 3-on-1 situations in this Russian UFC. Absolutely madness. Absolutely madness. They ain't got a chance in hell.
Yeah, I think you need a bit of both. If you want to be ultimate fighter, if you think about it this way, right? You have Muay Thai for stand-up, right? You still have your boxing because you need your ground game and being able to move and do the angles really quickly, because you can go do the boxing angles and then switch back to Muay Thai stance, right? And start doing fighting like that. If someone tries to bring you down, the jiu-jitsu and the wrestling help you stop that, especially if it's in a situation where there's multi-assailants, right? So if someone's going to try to tackle you down and there's 4 people, you don't want to go down. That jiu-jitsu game helps you, because if you hold your ground, quickly push them away maybe and start striking again. You know, so you have to kind of do it. That's why I dabble in everything, and I'm sure that's why, Raz, you like to try everything.
Yeah, like, just what day is it? Friday, just gone. I went to someone I train. He does a lot of combative stuff, like knife, you know, defense, all this stuff. He invited me on Friday to one of his classes, and I went. First time ever. Proper combative stuff, just self-defense against knives, you know, against 5 versus 1. It was crazy, man. Like, I enjoyed it a lot, but it was completely different. You know, it's a different kind of martial arts. That's more real life situation. You know, when you're actually in trouble. But no, it was great. Man. So many things like martial arts you take from. So you know, you say like, yeah, striking. Groundwork, all that's great. But then I'll be honest with you, when I went there, I was like, you know, I tried. It sounds all good. The guy said to me, I'm going to do a drill with you. You're going to take on 5 guys. You're going to headgear up. You're going to do like a 5-minute exercise. I'm going to spin you around 10 times. You have your eyes closed. Instantly, these 5 guys come on. You have to hold it up, and you have to bat them off. After the exercise was cool, I was fine. As soon as he spun me around, I never had 10 times, fast. Go! Bruh! I couldn't even stand up. It was like, I was already like almost hit hard, you know, and your head is spinning and you can't, I was almost falling over. And it was like, wow, instantly I was like, this is different, you know. And these guys coming straight at me. I just went into the, you know, what I know, striking straight away. You know, it just went nuts. But yeah, you know, I learned already this age, just that day, Friday, 2 days ago. Man, I need to do more. I need to know how to defend against knife attacks. Like, one of the drills was, I had to wrestle this guy, and he had a little fake knife in his pocket, and I had to prevent him from taking it out. And literally, I thought I had killed him real good, but you know, he ain't get to a knife over his hand. Without me even realising, this guy's already stabbed me on the side of my body. He's already got the knife out. And I was like, what? You got the knife here? Do you know what I mean? It's like shocking, isn't it? Even though I know all these martial arts.
You know what? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that was like another awakening. Wow. Like, if that was a real situation, I'd be dead, man. Because, you know, I didn't learn this side of it, and I'm thinking, yeah, I'll be able to hold it up because I know all this other stuff. But now, man, you never stop learning.
Yeah.
I think you never stop learning. There's always more you gotta learn.
Yeah, I think being exposed to that knife crime stuff, like knife situations, is really good. But you know, when you say that, I think, do you know, the jiu-jitsu will help because you're used to the grips, isn't it? So something like that.
Again, that would help you because that's your.
Because I was thinking like it depends on where the hand is, but you know when you're standing, if you grab the wrist, you can do a Kimura grip, you know.
Yeah.
And then once you got a Kimura grip, but again, it depends on how quick your reflex is. You have to do drills.
You got to train these things.
Yeah, you got to do the drills. I can see myself merging some of the jiu-jitsu into that.
Yeah. See, because I ain't never done jiu-jitsu really. For me, it was like a new thing, kind of like wrestling this guy. Obviously, he's huge compared to me, but still, like I thought, I'm not doing too bad. I don't have. I can get to this match.
You know what? Realistically, I'll be honest. Yeah, this is only my opinion. I don't think anybody, just having being in the street with five people, I don't think you can ever be prepared for something. And no matter how much
it's true.
You're getting beat up.
Yeah,
You lose.
there's no way that because the setting, it might be dark, it might be raining, it might be an alleyway, it might be in a park with bushes, with trees around, wind.
That's what they did. They put obstacles around chairs,
and they spun you around, so you're disorientated. So I totally understand that. So in that situation, anybody with any form of training,
it's trouble.
In that situation, it's going to be trouble regardless. Look, you had that training, you have to prevent him from taking the knife out. Say if it starts, how do you know he's going for this hand, you not have a knife in this hand? You know what I mean? So you can't tell if it's in the dark. You're not going to know. And there's 5 people rushing towards you. How are you going to know? You just not. It doesn't matter how much training you have, unless you're Bruce Lee or your thing. Even then, at that's someone's going to get licked.
I think the golden rule is
whether they're going to hit you with a punch or a knife or a knuckle duster or even a bat across the head. It's unpredictable. But yes, it's good to learn. It's good to get those skills and be, say, there was 5%. Now you've got that little bit of experience of you know what, I did all right, but I didn't actually do all right. There's so much more for me to learn. So what I was thinking, what we touched on before, was, I don't think any martial artist or boxer or anything really does want to have a fight in a street fight. Because, I think they'd be more like, I think they stay away from these, problems and issues. Because, you're capable, what you're capable of doing.
You're more disciplined.
It grounds them, it disciplines them, and it humbles them. So they know exactly, unless they have to. Unless they have to. Like, you can swear at me all you want, just don't touch me. You can say what you want to me, but don't touch me, because if you touch me, I'm going to have to do something. I'm not even that, that trained like you two are, but I'll do my darndest best. I'm not going to walk away.
That's my motto.
But I think
don't touch me.
Every fighter is more or less like that. They'd rather, if you're in a situation with 3, 4, 5 people, you're going to hit the first one that comes towards you and get the hell out of it.
Exactly. You're not going to stand there and wait to take over 5.
Exactly, because
no one's Superman.
I want to get home to my children.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm going to hit first and try and get in as far as I can.
It's about being smart, isn't it?
I'm a big guy that will never fast.
You always got to have an exit plan. Always have an exit
42 as well. I'm not as fast as I was when I was young. My bones are brittle.
But that's the naivety. Do you know what? That's the naivety. A lot of people get into martial arts, especially when they're young, and they think like, I did a bit of boxing, I can smash up the world and stuff. And they don't realise, like, first things first is it's not nice to actually hurt someone. It's not nice to get into that situation. Anyone who's been in that situation would know. You leave with a nasty feeling. Secondly, it's one of those things. Every martial art. This is one of the things. Every place that I've been to always teaches me, look, listen, if you're in that situation, you run. Don't even interact, run.
You don't get away from that.
But it's more than one, it's not even worth it, it's not even worth it at all. And nowadays nobody fights fair. Everybody's going to have a knife or some sort of weapon or, it's never going to be fair. It's not back in the days, man. Let's go, 1-on-1.
You're vulnerable before. Now you're not. And even if nothing happens then, you can have things coming to your door when you're walking down the street now.
Yeah.
It's not over anymore.
So, what do you guys think? What is the number one martial art, or is there even such a thing? Raz.
I don't think there's such a thing, really. Everyone's different preferences, isn't it? You get some people like groundwork, some people like striking, like self. So, yeah, everyone's ability is different as well. So, to me, I feel like all martial arts are good, man. You gotta find something you're passionate about and you like and you enjoy. You find it fun, challenging, and if it helps you in your life in any way, go with that route. Stick with it. That's my opinion. Anyway. I think all martial arts are good.
What about yourself, Habib?
Same thing. I agree. I think all martial arts are good in the way that they give you discipline, focus, and they do help you. I think some I'm more favourable towards again, but they're for personal preferences. Things that I find more enjoyable, or maybe like the science behind jiu-jitsu, etc., etc. But in general, I think as long as you're learning a self-defense and as long as you're staying consistent in it, you're going to grow and you're going to develop. And at some point, you'll probably think, okay, not this, maybe that, and you'll start your own journey.
So, going on off from that, what type of people should not do martial arts? Or why do some people actually avoid martial arts? Is there a reason?
For me, I don't think anyone should avoid it. Right? No, anyone can do martial arts, isn't it? Because even like some people that are not very nice, they start doing martial arts, changes them, makes them humble, become more respectful. Because they walk into a place where they realize, oh man, these, I like this community. You end up being like a family. You training with people, you get to know them, and you start learning from them. So it helps even people that are not in a straight path, if you like. They've gone a bit off course. So I'd say it's for everybody. Everybody should try it. Then I'll say,
you know what?
Find something.
I think that you guys must have come across some people that shouldn't do it, because some people I think I'm giving it a chance to everybody to change, but there's some people with this arrogant.
There is, yeah, but those arrogant people sometimes they need a lesson, a harder lesson than someone else. So everyone can change through martial arts, because you get a good ass whooping, you ain't gonna forget it. Especially if it embarrasses you in front of an audience. That'll humble someone, and that's a bit arrogant. They'll think about it twice next time. Like I had a situation when I was in Kung Fu. It's a small time thing, really, but it's an example. So this guy turns up. He's sort of knows one of the guys we trained with. He was kind of new as well, and he was real cocky. You can see when he walked in, an aura about him, just cocky. Hot shirt, chains, flashy hairstyle, sunglasses. He walked into a martial arts place, what do you do? But he's not even saying hello to nobody. When we see our master, you do the cheat. Not even doing that. And then he stuck around a little bit, and you could see every time he was training, it was almost like bullying the beginners. He was like bullying them a little bit, rude. And then one day, it just happened to be, we used to have to sit around in a circle, massive circle. Our master said, pick 2 people in the middle, and you're gonna fight for 3 minutes. But he was saying 50-60% is okay, but let's go. It just so happened to pick me with this guy. And obviously, I'm worried thinking he's kind of disrespectful kind of guy. So I already knew, I'll be honest, I didn't like it. But at the same time, I thought I'm not going to go stupid in a sparring match. I'm going to still do what I do. But as soon as my master said, fight, this guy, he goes for a Sagat kick, hard as you can, runs into me. Bang! So hard, I ain't gonna lie, that hurt. Even I was shocked. I was like, wow. It took pain. I was like, alright. And then my teacher was like, yo, he stopped. He's like, what are you doing? I said 50, 60%. Like, he just went on full throttle. But by then I was like looking at my trainer like, nah, we ain't doing no 50, 60% no more. That ship is gone. And so when he said, all right, let's go fight. So, no, I ain't never been that pissed off before in a sparring. Never. Always been controlled. Not that I lost it, but then he flipped the switch in me, where I was like, I'll punch this guy. Because he walked in and I knew he's a kickboxer. I was doing kickboxing, I was doing sanshou, which was like kickboxing and takedowns. Obviously Shaolin Kung Fu, which is like, you know, it strengthens you anyway. So as soon as he said fight, that was it. I spanked this guy. My head kicks were on point back then as well. You know, when you're young, you're more flexible. My head kicks were super fast. I was kicking into the head where his head guard was flying off. You know, and the master kept putting it back on. And even my trainer was like, I haven't seen this side of us before. You could see it in his face. And he's like, I'm going to let this carry on. Let's see where it goes. Because he's like, you know, he sees me normally sparring and I'm quite respect. But he saw something in me, I think, that day. He was like, I need to see where this goes. So he let it be. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna even brag, but I was beating him up silly. Like in the end, he was, because he only had a few moves. He had a low kick, his boxing was whack, and he just had low kicks, which was hard. But once I took that away from him, he had nothing. And then I was doing sanshou as well, dropping him, picking him up, slamming him here, sweeping him off the feet. You know, I ain't gonna lie, I felt great. Because I thought, punishing a bully right now. There's an audience with Milo, there's an audience in the gym, in the balcony, they're like coming out like, wow, what's going on out here? Because it's like a lot of commotion. You know, Dill, remember East Stand Gym, the Legislature Center was there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they had a gym up there, so the balcony, the people were coming out to watch this. I didn't know until the end, but you know, I gained so much respect for Milo because
I would have loved to see that.
They were like, even my trainer was like, I like this. You know, it's like brought out monster in me, innit? But after that, my point is, after that fight, this guy sits right next to me, who ain't never said hello, nothing to me ever. Not even look my way. Treats everyone like shit. Oh, yeah, bro. What's the fight, man? It's shit, man. But in my head, I was thinking, yeah, make sure you treat my guys nicely now. And then guess what? When he came back, he was cool. He came back a couple more times, but he wasn't saying, you know, he just didn't turn up again after that. But, you know, you learn, you know, that's the thing, you know, you come in like that, someone's going to teach you a lesson. And in this case, I was happy with me, but, you know, there's harder guys out there, you know, you come across.
Yeah, you always be humble.
You always be humble and respectful. Don't come in and think you know it.
There's always someone harder than you.
There's always someone stronger.
Yeah.
There's always someone that's going to whoop you. That's it. There's always someone that's going to be
always.
Yeah, so be humble and learn from them. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say. Be humble and learn. Be respectful. I just don't like disrespectful people. And that's what got to me.
I hate that, man. Going to clubs and people got ego.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, I don't like this guy, man. He shouldn't be here. But that's when it goes back to Dill when he said, you know, some people just shouldn't train, too arrogant. But who knows? He might have changed. Because I saw him when he came back. When he came back, he wasn't behaving like that no more. So I was like, okay. He's saying hello to me a lot now, and he's like trying to be friendly the next 2 times. And even with the other students, he's like, you know, a bit more laughy, cheerful, and just, you know, just being normal. He got this look on his face like, yeah. So for me, I thought maybe that arse whooping helped. And wherever he went after that, maybe he changed. But yeah, that's what I say, man. That's what I say. Everyone can do martial arts, but if you're gonna be humble and respectful, be ready. Someone gonna whoop you one day, put you set you straight, and that's what people need. I feel like that's some people need that.
I think that's what all bullies need. Is send them to
Yeah, because what happened?
Little sparring session.
Not even martial arts, bro. But look at when we were young. Bro. When a bully gets bullied right across the they turn. They realize, damn, like, okay,
It's not nice when I'm on the receiving
it's not.
end.
Yeah, I'm on the receiving end, and now I'm embarrassed. And sometimes that changes, you know. So when a bully gets stood up to, they don't like it. So that sometimes the martial arts welcomes that.
Some people don't realize they're arrogant. You know, like you get the selection of the population that don't realize they're like that, and then they go there and they realize, okay, you know what? I need to tune myself up, like to the right level. And the ones who don't change, they don't survive. Think about it.
Yeah.
We know we've been to clubs.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have that attitude, you're gonna get punished until you leave or until you fix up. It's as simple as that. So
I'm sorry I'm laughing. It's because I just remembered a scenario. Whereas if you remember in school, yeah, there was this bully that used to come. Don't say names, yeah?
Okay.
There was this bully that used to come and he used to line everybody up in 1 minute for some reason, yeah?
Yeah.
I think you know who I'm talking about, NP, yeah?
Yeah.
And his hood got pulled over his head one day, yeah? And everybody licked him up. He didn't know who licked him up.
Yeah.
Like, he was licked. I was just laughing about that. So that he never picked on anybody in that year. In that year, he never picked on anybody.
In that crew, he didn't come.
In that crew,
Yeah.
Ever. There must have been, we were naughty back then and we used to smoke behind the youth centre. It's a youth centre. Yeah, it was a youth centre. Yeah. And this kid, this guy, he's older than us, and he used to come along and
bigger as well. Remember, it was tall.
Bigger. Yeah. But he used to hit the stupid thing he did. He had the anorak, innit? He had an anorak. He had an anorak. Yeah. And it just got pulled over his head.
I think he couldn't see anything.
He couldn't see
everybody lift him up real good.
Lift him up real good. One guy never tried it with those people ever again. Yeah. And it was I just started laughing when I heard about it. You know, when I just thought about it, I just started laughing. So I just stopped it to say that, man. It was just crazy times. But yeah, you're right. Bullies haven't learned their lesson. They do learn.
And that's why people do martial arts and stuff, because they want to defend against bullies and stuff. And you can see why, you know. Sometimes it works. You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes it does change bullies.
So you guys do, like, slightly going off tangent here, you guys do all this training and everything. Obviously, training isn't just enough. You have to look after what you're eating, your nutrition. That's obviously has to be very important. Like, what is your daily nutrition like? Like, what do you do on a daily basis to keep yourself fit and healthy, Habib?
Well,
including your training. Obviously, food plays a major part.
like, obviously, I try to weight train at least once a week, right? In between my martial arts, because you need to do your strength and conditioning. So I do my weights. That's a minimum once a week, but I do more. And then my martial arts. But in terms of food, it doesn't matter how much I train. If I'm not eating healthy, I don't feel right. What you put into your system matters. If you're eating a lot of junk food, you feel sluggish, you feel disgusting, your skin starts to feel more greasy. Everything has an impact. So I'm generally good with my routine, although I should start eating breakfast. Alright, that's my downfall. I don't eat breakfast. I usually just have a coffee in the morning. I go to school and I work, and I'll have my lunch at lunchtime, but I'll have a proper lunch, right? Come home, have a little snack, and then I'll have a dinner, but I'll have less carbs with my dinner and more protein. But all my meals will be protein rich, because you need to recover. You need to recover if you're training. So I do it like that, but my diet changes depending on what's going on. Because sometimes in winter I don't mind putting a bit of weight on. It's cold, man. Yeah, so winter time I don't mind, and then closer to summer I'll shed it off. But I never let myself fluctuate more than a couple of kilos. It'll always be within that buffer.
Couple of kilos, bro. found a couple of stones, bro. Fluctuation. 2 stones on, take half a stone off, then put another 2 stones on. Look at this.
Yes, sir.
What about yourself, Raz? How important is your nutrition? And what's your nutrition like?
You know, when I was
super healthy, I know you super healthy.
Nah, I used to.
No?
Nah, I mean, when I was competing, yeah, you had to. Otherwise, you're going to come on the scales overweight, which I found very, very a rude awakening with once upon a time. You know, I had a fight, and the day before I went out with some friends, and they goaded me into eating this Turkish kebab, and I had to weigh in 6 in the morning. When you're young, you think you're invincible. So I had it, go to weigh in, and I'm like 0.5 kilos over. My trainer looks at me like pissed, and he's like, go run. So I had half an hour to run it off, and then obviously when you're running for half an hour, you're like, man, I've got half an hour. You're just running up and down, trying to burn this 5 kilos, 0.5 kilos. Did it, but man, I was gassed. I wasted all my energy before a fight, and I lost that fight simply gassed. You know, the first round was cool. Second round came, it was like, I had nothing left.
You burn it all, right?
That taught me, don't mess around with your nutrition. You need to eat proper, clean. Like, if you're going to compete as well. But now, as I'm older, obviously I don't compete. So, I love food. Man. I eat moderately as I can. Sometimes I go way off course, yeah, but at the same time, I know what I'm doing though. I know, okay, I ate so much crap this week. I'm a detox for the next couple of weeks. You know, eat cleaner, train more, you know, keep myself balanced again. As long as you know, some people, what they do, they train and they feel like they need to be spotless with it, no mistakes. They feel like they can't eat any little bar of chocolate, but that's it. And if they do that, they go off course. They're like, I had a chocolate now, I messed it up. And what they do, they give up. They just think, it's not worth it, I can't do this. And they just go on, they just keep eating, they don't go back to getting on that bike and thinking, right, let me reset, and then they get back on eating clean as I can again. You have to have a little leeway, but, you know, that's the thing. People will understand we're not perfect. If you ruin your, like you got a goal, you ruin it one day, as long as 80% of the time you're good, don't worry about the 20%. Just shake that off, start again. Shake that off, start. And then the consistency over time is just going to get you there. So that's why I try, you know, that's how I work. I think consistency is going to beat those odd days where I just go off course. As long as I get back on that bike and remember, okay, I messed up here this week, but the next couple of weeks I ain't going to do that. I'll be good.
I think Raz was describing me when he said when you have a bar of chocolate, you just give up. That's me, they're right there, bro.
You know what though?
Nah, Dill, you eat good, man, now.
Yeah, you eat good.
Don't say that.
I eat good all the time now. But,
Exactly.
Unfortunately, diabetes has just messed me up. But, you know, it's obviously that's a work in progress, and I'm universal. So I eat really well. Actually, I eat really healthy. I don't mess around.
No, you done good. Do you know what though? Right? What I did notice was, like, before I'd be doing all these complex carbs and all of this stuff, right? And like proper calorie carrying and everything. And then I realized, like, I can still like train. I remember I was training 7 days a week, right? No rest, but just doing different parts of the body, because you can always train. There's always something you can do, and as long as you eat correctly. But what I've done over the last 2 years, I've noticed I've been able to maintain my level of health without any of those complex carbs. I eat generally what I want to eat in moderation, but as long as my training continues, you don't put on weight, you stay healthy, because you've got a routine. So you can actually have a balanced diet, have your chicken burger here and there. Yeah.
Eat all day, every day. You eat a bit more, you know, clean and, you know, grilled meats and, you know, more your veg, not so much like piles of rice and
Yeah.
time.
Just moderate it all.
Yeah, moderation, that's cool.
And you maintain the health.
You know what, Habib? Yeah, something you said. You should start eating breakfast. Not necessarily.
Well, no, that's what they say. I've been okay without it because I'm fine with that. My body's tuned to it, and it's like an intermittent fast. Yeah.
When you're hungry, like,
Yeah,
you
you
don't
should
necessarily need. Yeah,
Yeah.
you should
Unfortunately,
necessarily
I'm
eat.
hungry.
And also, whenever I eat, I can't function like this because as a teacher, right, I got to teach. And if I have breakfast, I'm hungry by like 9:30, 10, right? And I'm gonna say, I'm starving. Whereas if I don't, I'm good. I can eat, like in teaching, it's demanding too. Sometimes I eat my lunch at 3 after school finishes, right? But I can get through it. And the thing is, you can lose, it becomes like an intermittent fast accidentally. Because I have my coffee in the morning and then I end up doing that.
Intermittent fasting is fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You're already doing it. Yeah, it's fantastic. So you carry on with that because it helps maintain your insulin levels. And it's actually fantastic. So you end up burning more fat without even doing anything. Like your fat reserves. So
You know, you have coffee as well. That suppresses your hunger.
Yeah.
So that's why you're probably alright, you're good to go. Because if you have coffee, somehow it suppresses your hunger. So you're okay without having breakfast. As long as you have that, it'll give you the energy.
The coffee gets me through the day, man.
Yeah, you as well.
I'm going to teach.
Do you know what? There is something I do actually want to talk about. Actually, this is going back to what Raz was saying. You know, Raz. You know, you said, you know, you went to that training on Friday. That was, 5 against 1. Was that anything to do with Krav Maga?
A little bits of it. Like the guy took away little bits of it. But you know, he was saying to me, "There's too much fancy stuff out there to, like, say, disarm someone with a knife." He said, "This is nonsense. You ain't gonna never be able to do all that. You need to learn the basics, just pure defense and get away. You don't want to fight someone with a knife. Why do you want to do that for? So you want to just be enough to defend yourself, react if you see something." That elbow pop he was saying. And he was saying like over 70% of people, if they have got, like, say, knives, they always strike from under and up, and they want to hold you like this and do it. So he says, focus on maybe defending against that, because your probability is that's what they're going to do. And if you just keep training how to block against that, that's a chance for you to survive. So he was using bits and pieces like that from not necessarily Krav Maga, but little bits and pieces from.
Alright, okay, so Habib, this goes on to you, yeah? Obviously you do MMA, Jiu-Jitsu, and, one of the questions that we talked about, before, it was off camera, was Krav Maga, was it Krav
Maga.
Krav Maga, the MMA?
No. This is the thing, right? In my opinion, and obviously from the stuff I've been researching, right, you've got things in Krav Maga that will be useful, right? But you're practicing with people. Someone's holding a knife, right? And they're not really going to stab you up, or you're not getting much resistance. You're practicing moves, and you haven't got someone punching you in the face, and all of those things. Whereas in MMA, you're used to getting punched in the face, whacked here, dropped to the ground. There's a lot of high resistance style training, and it's repetition. So it's going to be more useful than that situation. You can't say, again, it's scenario dependent, isn't it? Scenario dependent. But overall, I don't think Krav Maga, otherwise, why is it not in UFC? Why are they not using it? It's very kind of, I'm going to disable you and go. And it's not, think about it, if you ended up using that in a street fight, you're going to prison because you're going to disable someone or kill someone, right? All in all, you need something
They go for your pressure points and stuff, like your throat, your eyes, is to properly disable yourself.
But even think about UK law. If you do that to someone and you're trained in Krav Maga, you're going to get in trouble.
It's GBH.
Yeah. Even if the guy's a perpetrator or the person's a perpetrator.
GBH,
yeah.
It depends how.
It depends on what happens, but it could be ABH or GBH depending on the damage. But the point is this, is if someone attacks you even if you're on the right to defend yourself and you go and do one of those things, Raz, you're in the force. I don't know if you know this, but generally I'd get in trouble if I did something like that, right?
Again, it's dependent. Was your life threatened? Was you gonna?
But even if your life's threatened and they say you poked him in his eye, and then what you did is you got a pen and you did like all that stuff they teach, right?
That John Wick.
Yeah, John Wick stuff. Yeah, in UK, think about it. If someone comes towards you in jiu-jitsu, right? And you got Muay Thai as well, Muay Thai experience. You want to do a push kick, right? You're gonna kick them in their solar plex and run. Or you always want to plan things like that, and you're used to doing that. You know, when in Muay Thai, someone comes towards you, quickly kick them away. Your reactions are there. You know, the speed's there. Someone comes for a punch, you could duck it and run, weave and run. You know, so you're in actual martial arts like jiu-jitsu, boxing, Muay Thai, all of that stuff. You're constantly going through scenarios, so your natural ability to react would be better. Is what I think, anyway.
But Krav Maga, obviously, it's disarming and
They've got it in the army and they've taught certain agencies, like they put it into things. So there's got to be good in it, you know? But it's for the, I guess, extreme end, isn't it, of circumstances. But I haven't dabbled in it enough to know. It's just from what I've read and what I've seen. Thank you all for joining us today on the 90 Degrees Fightcast, where we talked about different styles of martial arts, how effective they are, and the benefits of playing an active role in them. We hope you enjoyed the discussion and were able to benefit from it. If there's anything that you would like to add or discuss further, please feel free to drop a comment down below.
We would like to thank Raz for joining us and sharing his views and experiences. It's been extremely insightful, and we look forward to working with him more frequently in the future episodes, with the aim for him to become a permanent member of the 90 Degrees Fightcast.
No, thank you guys for having me. I enjoyed the discussion and involved with me in the discussion. It's been fun. Hopefully, people can benefit from this discussion and whatever they decide to do. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and stay humble.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Also, follow us on social media for more information and updates on future episodes. Thank you, and see you in the next episode, where we ordinary people have real talk.
See ya. Bye-bye.